Okay, this is the last lesson for section 5.3. It's how to accurately sketch polynomial functions without using a calculator. And by accurately sketch, we mean find the x-intercepts. So in order to find the x-intercepts, you're going to need to rewrite this in factor form. Now, we've never taught you guys how to factor a cubic function. We've taught you how to factor quadratic functions. But they tell us one major important piece of information right here. Because they tell us one of the factors, we're going to be able to find the other two factors. There's a total of 3. So keep that in mind. We will make this look like that. So we give it to you in standard form. You're going to be able to write it in factored form with a little bit of help right there. We know one of the factors is x plus 4. We do not know the other two factors. The way you find the other two factors is by dividing. Because remember, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we're going to divide this function by this factor and figure out what those two functions or two factors are. We got a lot of options here. We could use long division to divide this by this. We could use synthetic division to divide this by this. I think most students prefer synthetic, so let's go ahead and use synthetic division. The coefficients are 1, 1, negative 52, negative 160. 1, 1, negative 52, negative 160. The root, the factor is x plus 4, so the root is what goes out here. The root is the same thing as 0, so what value of x will make this equal 0? The answer is negative 4. So negative 4 goes out here. Let me get my highlighter. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. The root goes out there, not the factor. So, and then, as you recall, with synthetic division, the first number goes down, then you multiply those. Well, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, you write the answer right there. Then you add, then you multiply, negative positive 12, then you add, and then you multiply that and that, you get positive 160, and if you did it correctly, you should get a remainder of 0. So, this function divided by this factor, or function if you want to call it a function, is 1x squared minus 3x minus 40. So, now we know the intermediate step. 1x squared minus 3x minus 40 goes there. And then from first semester, when you factor a trinomial, you just have to figure out which pair of factors have a product of negative 40 and a sum of negative 3. So I'm going to write down the factors of negative 40. I'm going to make a list. Some of you already know what the answers are. Or you could have 1 times negative 40, 2 times negative 20, 4 times negative 10, 5 times negative 8, and then vice versa. All these could be negative, those could be positive. And negative 5 and positive 8. Which pair of factors has a sum of -3. That. So, recap. This number times this number must equal -40. This number plus this number must equal -3. So, the factors of that trinomial are x plus 5 times x minus 8. Now this function is completely factored. Once it is completely factored, then you can accurately sketch what it's going to look like. And again, by accurately sketch we mean what are the exact locations of the x-intercepts. We know it's going to cross at -4, -5, positive 8. -1, 2, 3, 4, -5, positive 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The leading coefficient is +1, so it's going to end up. And then you just connect this arrow to that dot, like so. Then you connect this dot to that dot with a big loop. FYI, the farther apart the two x-intercepts, the larger the loop. And vice versa, the closer the two x-intercepts are, the smaller the loop. So now you're going to connect that point to that point, and there you go. Should look cubic because it is cubic. X cubed. There you go. 7-minute lesson. The assignment is 5.3F. Oops, 5.3F. This is not as hard as the previous lesson, so there's probably going to be more than 4 problems. Yeah.